Welcome to volume 3 of What Megan Eats. Over the last couple of volumes, we've gone into a lot of tactics. So increasing protein, increasing plant food, reducing frequency of eating away from goals and that kind of stuff. If you missed those, then go and look for them. They are hugely insightful, especially if you've downloaded this PDF. If you haven't downloaded this PDF, then make sure you do, because it's a good insight. It's a fantastic insight actually into high performance living, looking absolutely amazing and doing it all without neglecting your family or feeling as though you've neglected your family. This is one of the biggest things that I hear from mums who get in impeccable shape, is they feel like they've burnt themselves out, that they have lost focus on their family. And this is a huge part of the ethos of what we do, is that you shouldn't have to sacrifice your body shape for focusing on your family. It should be something that they both improve together. Okay, if they don't, then you're doing something stupidly wrong. With that said, in this video, we're not going to go too much over tactics, because after the first 6 months, tactics, they don't change. It's all about consistency after 6 months. So one of the biggest problems that I see that mums face is a constant bombardment of new tactics and new strategies and new ways to do things. And what ends up happening is you're either in the camp where you start, you try something, it doesn't work, and then you stop, or you start, you try something, you add something from here, there, and everywhere, and it becomes this big mixed, mashed version of your own ideals that don't actually get you to where you're going. You're doing all this stuff and your body's not changing, and you're frustrated because there's no progress, and you're sliding backwards even though you're working harder, right? It's all because of not actually gathering enough data on you and what you're doing, and not making decisions based off of that data. So I'm going to have you consider that Megan's big part of success here is that up at this point, she's recorded almost 15 meal records across a 6-month time span. They're not every week, but they're every second or third week, and she's accrued a lot of data on herself. So with that data, you can start to see what foods are working well, what foods aren't working, what strategies are working, timing of meals and workouts, what workouts work well, what workouts don't work well, yada, yada, yada. You got all this data that you now have visibility over yourself of, and you're not working and reacting off of emotions, right? You're not waking up one day and feeling like you're fat, and then the next day, feeling like you completely burnt out because you cut your calories in half and you felt like you're fat, and then now you're sick and you can't go on, right? So there's two sides to the coin. There's emotions and there's facts. And the idea is to try and stay in the facts with, well, what are you doing? How's your body reacting to what you're doing? And how do we change it to make the body react a certain way, a better way, right? A more optimized way. Inside of month 6, the main difference between month 3 and month 6 is just an increased protein. I mean, this chick, she's having almost 30 grams of protein per meal. That's 150 grams of protein per day, not including the supplementation. So she's having a fair whack of protein. This meal record, if you take a look at it, sleep and energy levels were pretty tumultuous, right? And this is right at a point where she has gone and increased her protein because of that fact. Okay, so as you scroll through, you'll see very consistent with her eating. It wasn't until day 6 where there was a wedding and we had some pizza and some wedding cake, I can only assume, right? And then that's where that meal record leaves off. But let me leave you with this. You will always benefit from being able to see what you're doing. And I don't know about you, but I can't remember what I ate last Tuesday. So if you write it down, then you're going to have better chance of knowing what you ate and then why you're seeing this lag in terms of a result. There's two kinds of measures. There's lead measures, and then there's lag measures. The lead measure is something that you track, like a habit or meal compliance, or on a more extreme example, macros and calories. Like if you're a macro and calorie tracker, and you're not part of the FitMo method, because you wouldn't be tracking that stuff if you're in the FitMo method. Those things are leading into the lag, which is the body weight, the body fat. It's the level of leanness, right? It's all that kind of stuff. There's a lag of about, a few weeks to a few months. You start doing some habits now, you're not going to see the result from that until later. So when you do see that result, you'll want to know what you did to get there so you can get there again, so you never lose your weight. And that's the power of using meal records over meal plans. Meal records are more accurate because you're recording what you actually do, rather than planning on doing something and there being a gap between what you're doing, right, and what you planned on doing. So there you have it. That is volume 3. Look forward to showing you volume 4 soon.